Here's 5 fun facts about Jewish Jeffrey Epstein. Number 1, Epstein, in addition to his island, of course, had a palatial New York row house, which was endlessly visited by world leaders, including Ehud Barak, the former Prime Minister of Israel, and countless others. Now, what's curious about that row house is that his next-door neighbor while there, again to Jeffrey Epstein, was none other than Howard Lutnick, the Jewish individual who is Donald Trump's Secretary of Commerce. So one of the most powerful people of the Trump administration was living next door to Jeffrey Epstein. Number 2, Ghislaine Maxwell, the famed right-hand woman of Jeffrey Epstein, also Jewish, is of course photographed endlessly with people like Donald Trump, with Elon Musk, with Hillary and Bill Clinton. Ghislaine also, of course, was at the wedding of Chelsea Clinton. Very curious. And Ghislaine Maxwell's father, Robert, was not only an Israeli super spy, there's an entire book about his esteemed life doing so and spying on behalf of Mossad and Israel, but also a billionaire whose personal friend, Samuel Pizar, happens to also be the stepfather to none other than Secretary Anthony Tony Blinken, who under the Biden administration many people claimed was running the country. Joe Biden's children all married Jews. Kamala Harris married a Jew, but the person running the country not only was Jewish, but also a longtime family friend of none other than Robert Maxwell, father of Ghislaine. Number 3, Peter Thiel, who many individuals recognize as the groomer of J.D. Vance. Not only did he fund his rise to political prominence, but also employed him at multiple companies prior to doing so. Now, Peter Thiel, obviously the funding behind Palantir, with its Jewish CEO Alex Karp, which was recently given massive contracts from the government to build databases on all U.S. citizenry, which should give us pause. But prior to Palantir, Peter Thiel was involved in endless Silicon Valley startups, including Carbine 911, which on its board of directors included Ehud Barak, who we previously mentioned visited Jeffrey Epstein's home, and in addition also had monetary ties to none other than Jeffrey Epstein himself. Not only is the Trump and Vance administration tied directly to Epstein, but so was the Biden administration, the Trump administration, the Obama administration, and all the way back to the Clintons. So for 25 plus years, this has been a developing, blossoming relationship. Now in the present, why aren't we seeing these files released? Why aren't we seeing these people investigated? Ash Patel, whose girlfriend, prior to meeting Cash at a formal function, who happens to be half his age, 1,000 times his beauty, happened to work for PragerU, whose senior-most leadership of all places prior to PragerU was working for Israeli 8200 Mossad, the literal intelligence agency of the Israeli government. Rather curious. Which brings us to number 5, which is the extended Blinken family. Because not only are the Blinkens directly connected to Robert Maxwell and family through Samuel Pizar, we have Tony Blinken's wife, Evan Riley, whose grandfather is none other than James Rowley, the individual who was the head of the Secret Service during the Kennedy assassination. So what do we have? We've got world leaders that at every angle are tied into what appears to be a blackmail, bribery, espionage, and in some cases a assassination brigade that are out and at every turn have subverted the U.S. politicians and the U.S. government for the exclusive benefit of the nation of Israel, which might be why the United States has been doling out endless dollars not only to Israel, but also to Jewish leaders the world over, including Zelensky over in Ukraine, as well as Keir Starmer in the UK, both of those individuals Jewish, as well as the world leaders who are now in charge of El Salvador, Panama, Venezuela, Mexico, and countless other South and Central American nations, even those where Jews might not be more than 1 in every 50,000 citizens. So what do we have for Epstein? We have basically what looks like a Jewish intelligentsia that have been utilizing the Epstein Island as the latest rendition of the same blackmail, espionage, and bribery game that has been in effect all the way back to the assassination of JFK, which many mark as the turning point at which the United States was completely subverted by the nation of Israel and Jewish supremacy.
Boy, I hate being right all the time.